This is the Justicefighter podcast. With attorney Gerald Griggs. Where we have conversations on social justice, civil rights, and political news that affects us all. Let attorney Griggs put you on game. Only on the Justicefighter podcast, y'all.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's attorney Gerald Griggs, the Justicefighter here, live for the Saturday edition of our coronavirus update. Thank you guys for joining me. Hope you're having a restful, relaxing Saturday. I wanted to go over these numbers. Won't be able to post this on Twitter because for some reason I'm suspended on Twitter. I've been doing these for at least 5-6 days now, and so it's interesting to see that currently I'm suspended on Twitter for posting these videos. So I'm gonna continue to bring these videos and I'm gonna start putting them on the podcast. So just in case these platforms don't want us getting this accurate information, you'll still be able to get the information. So tune in to the Justicefighter podcast. It's on all platforms. Justicefighter podcast on Spotify, Justicefighter podcast on Apple Play. It's on iTunes. It's on all the platforms. But here we go. So for March the 28th, 2020, they released these about 11:27. And we now have 2,366 cases of coronavirus. Again, 2,366 cases. That's up almost 120 cases from yesterday. We now have 617 hospitalizations. That's up 50 from yesterday. And now we have 69 deaths, which is up 4 from yesterday. So of the 100%, of the 2,366 cases, 617 are hospitalized, which means 26.8% of the people who have the coronavirus are hospitalized, and there's a 2.92 mortality rate with 69 deaths. By county, Fulton County has 373 cases and 373 cases and 12 deaths. DeKalb County has 240 cases and 2 deaths. Dougherty County has 205 cases and 13 deaths. Cobb County, 181 cases and 8 deaths. So Cobb has gone up in deaths. Gwinnett County has 129 cases and 1 death. Bartow County, 116 cases and 1 death. Carroll County, 64 cases and no deaths. Clayton County, 57 cases and 1 death. Cherokee County, 52 cases and 1 death. Henry County, 50 cases and 1 death. Lee County, 37 cases and 5 deaths. Clark County, 35 cases and 2 deaths. 35 cases in Douglas County and 1 death. Hall County, 31 cases and 0 deaths. Floyd County, 27 cases, 1 death. Fayette County, 25 cases, 2 deaths. Forsyth County, 21 cases, 1 death. Lowndes County, 20 cases, 1 death. Coweta, 19 cases, 2 deaths. Paulding County, 19 cases, 0 deaths. Rockdale County has 17 cases, 1 death. Chatham County, 15 and no deaths. Early County, 15 and 1 death. Newton County, 15 and 0 deaths. Gordon County, 14 and 1 death. Mitchell County, 14 and 0 deaths. Tift County, 13 and no deaths. Columbia County, 12 and no deaths. Houston County, 12 and 1 death. Richmond County, 12 and 0 deaths. Bibb, 11 and 0. Spalding, 11 and 0. Sumter, 11 and 0. Oconee, 10 and 0. Polk County, 10 and 0. And Troup County has 9 and 1 death. And now I'm going to go over the counties with deaths. Worth County has 1 death and 8 cases. Barrow County has 7 cases and 1 death. Terrell County has 6 cases and 2 deaths. Pickens County, 5 cases and 1 death. And Baker County, 1 case, 1 death. Heard County, 1 case, 1 death. And we have 230 cases that are not connected to a county and 2 deaths. And since our last update, they have now started putting the numbers back to the number of tested. So we now know the number of tests. Commercial labs have tested 9,185 people, and the Georgia Public Health Laboratory has tested 1,866 people for a grand total of about 11,000 tests. So 11,000 tests, and of the 11,000 tests, 2,366 have the virus. Breaking down by age, the leading age group is again 18 to 59 with 56% of the cases between that age group, and 60 plus 34% are 60 or over. And again, females are the leading category of confirmed cases at 49% female and 47% male. So we are still in the beginnings of this curve with 69 deaths and 617 hospitalizations. I need you guys to help me. Seriously, I need you to share this information because for some reason, individuals don't want this information getting out. We have the confirmed number of cases. We have it continuing to go up. We still don't have a shelter-in-place order on the state level. We have Albany, which is now per capita number 4 in the world for deaths. I'm going to say that again. Albany, Dougherty County is number 4 per capita for deaths for coronavirus in the world. And we still have no shelter in place. DeKalb County has issued a shelter in place now. Gwinnett County has issued a shelter in place. Many cities have issued a shelter in place. We need our state leaders to take this serious. It's a very serious situation that we're dealing with. Please maintain social distancing. Please maintain washing your hands and taking care of your health needs. I'm getting reports from the ground from healthcare workers that hospitals are beginning to be at capacity. You saw the video from yesterday that has now gone completely viral from a nurse in Albany, Georgia, that was talking about the lack of personal protective equipment down there, and the fact that she had to decide to choose her life over her livelihood. So we need to make sure we get this information out. I'm thankful to our local leaders for taking this seriously. I'm thankful to some of our state representatives for taking this serious and our state senators. It's time for the governor to take this serious. And you're not going to be able to stop the information getting out. I will share this on all my platforms. I'm asking you guys to share this on all your platforms because that's the only way we can get the accurate information out. The experts are consistently saying that this is going to get worse. And we have to take the initiative and be the people that we know we can be and protect our loved ones. Please, please stop believing the misinformation that older people are the ones that are being the most affected. In Georgia, the most affected people by this virus are between the ages of 18 to 59. That's 56%. Those are the numbers. They keep saying, look at the data, look at the data, look at that. We're looking at the data. The data is consistent. It's been consistent ever since I've been doing these reports. And so I'm asking you, as humbly as I know how, to please get this information out. Again, the governor during his town hall said that this was only being effective in some of the counties in Georgia. There are 110 counties that have cases. 110 counties. There are 230 that we don't even know which county they're coming from. You've only tested 11,000 people. There's 10.5 million people in this state. The guidelines for being tested, you have to have symptoms. So the asymptomatic people are not being tested, and you have to be hospitalized. And so my question is, if we're getting a 26% return, 26% return on the individuals tested. So of the 11,000 people that tested, 2,300 of them have the virus. If we extrapolate that out in a state of 10.5, there's a possibility that we got 2 million people that are infected. And so we have to take this very seriously. We have to listen to our medical workers and our healthcare providers and the people that have PhDs and listen to them. We need to listen to Dr. Fauci. We need to listen to Dr. Toomey. We don't need to listen to our elected officials who are putting profit over people. It's time to shut this state down before we become like New York, before we become like California, before we become like Louisiana. I don't like giving these speeches every single day, but the numbers continue to rise, and they continue to rise at an alarming rate. We cracked 1,000, 2 days ago, and now we're cracking 2,000. It's going up 20% every single day. And they're blaming this on testing. Well, how is it going up 20% and you're only testing 11,000 people? That's my question. If you would test more, and Dr. Fauci said this the other day, we need trace testing to see where the virus is. Well, if you don't even know where the virus is, why are we talking about reopening the country? We need to know where the virus is. We need to know where the most affected places are. We need to shelter in place and protect our loved ones so that more people do not succumb to this. I'm getting calls from people that I know in Albany that have lost loved ones. I know at least 5 people personally that have the virus, that are sheltered in place. There is no vaccine, regardless of what the 45th office holder of this country says. There is no vaccine. So we need to protect ourselves. My heart and prayers go out to every single family that's been affected by this. I'm praying fervently for our first responders and our healthcare professionals that are being tested to the limits. It's time for us as the people to send a message to our elected officials. Stop trying to silence people and get to work. Get to work and do your job. You need to do your job for the people of Fulton County. You need to do your job for the people of DeKalb County. You need to do your job for the people of Dougherty County, people of Cobb, Gwinnett, Bartow, Carroll, Clayton, Cherokee, Henry, Lee, Clark, Douglas, Hall, Floyd, Fayette, Forsyth, Lowndes, Coweta, Paulding, Rockdale, Chatham, Early, Newton, Gordon, Mitchell, Tiff, Columbia, Houston County, Richmond County, Bibb County, Spalding, Sumter, Oconee, Polk, Troup, Muskogee, Worth, Barrow, Glenn, and Lawrence County. Some of these counties are rural counties. So if we're trying to play this urban versus rural rhetoric, I just named a lot of rural counties. We're one Georgia, not 2, not 3, 1. And it's time for us to act as thus. We need updates from our governor every single day. Governor Cuomo gives updates every day. We need to know what's going on. And it shouldn't just be coming from the Department of Public Health. It should be coming from our duly elected governor to give us the information in a succinct, transparent way. So I'm going to continue to bring this to you on this platform. I'm going to bring it on all my platforms. I'm still asking the question to Twitter, why was I suspended for bringing this information to the people? You cannot silence the truth. The truth is that there's a pandemic, not only in the United States, but there's a pandemic in Georgia. And we need to have our elected officials hear from the people. So again, if you have any questions about these numbers, please hit me in my DM. Please share them. I will, again, you can get this information directly from the Georgia Department of Public Health, gph.ggeorgia.gov, every single day, noon and 7. You know, they started changing it up yesterday. They didn't drop it at noon and 7. They dropped it at 3 and 8:30. Need some consistency since it's not being reported. We need this information and we need it now. So I love you guys. I'm gonna continue to bring this information. My heart goes out to my brother, a champion in the struggle, one of my mentors, Dr. Joseph Lowry. He said, you gotta speak truth to power, and speak truth to power, and speak truth to power. Well, in the spirit of Dr. Lowry, in the spirit of Dr. Vivian, in the spirit of Dr. King, we're gonna protect our people. And we're going to hold these politicians accountable. We're going to remember these numbers, and we're going to remember every single politician that told people to go back to work. Every single politician that told individuals, oh, this was a hoax, that this wasn't real. Well, people are starting to bury folks, and they can't even go to the funeral. They have to watch the funeral on live stream. So we're going to speak truth to power. You may not like the message, but these facts are clear. So I love you guys, and I'm going to continue to bring this information. Please share it on your platforms, and please, please, please take care of your loved ones. Shelter in place if you don't have to go out. We're only going out for essential travel. Please, I see a lot of people biking and riding around and stuff. You know, listen, it's airborne. They said that this virus can survive up to 3 hours airborne. So you could be riding through a cloud of cough. Please, please protect yourself. Wear masks, wear gloves, wash your hands, practice social distancing, not a joke. You should be 6 feet apart from everybody. Love yourself, love your neighbor, love them enough to tell them, hey, look, man, I saw the other day on social media in McDonough that the Hooters was still open. People were parked and inside sitting down eating in the Hooters. I saw it on social media. I'm seeing nurse after nurse after nurse go live to tell the truth. I see doctors in New York telling the truth about this. I now see some of the news stations actually reporting. One of the nurses said, take the news cameras inside the hospital. You see the hospital's overrun. So I'm suggesting, humbly as I know how, to fact check these politicians. Fact check them. Ask them why these numbers keep going up. Ask them why they downplaying this situation. Ask them why you are not being honest with the people. You know, I love listening to live streams where we listening to DJs play the music, but we can't be distracted, people. We're in the middle of a pandemic, a global pandemic. And the question you need to ask yourself during this global pandemic is, what was I doing to get the information out to my neighbor? What was I doing to make sure I was protecting my loved ones? That's what I'm asking you. So as humbly as I know how, please realize that of your fellow Georgians, there are 2,366 that are infected. There are 617 that are hospitalized, and these are just the numbers that they're giving us. I keep getting posts that some people are questioning the numbers, because it seems as though the numbers should be higher than this. But again, you have to remember, they only tested 11,000 people. 11,000 people. So, I love you guys. I'll see you guys again at 7 unless they change the time they're going to report out. Then I'll come on a little bit earlier. I want to thank the elected officials who are speaking truth to power. One is on the live stream now. Thank you, Renita Shannon, for bringing the information and speaking truth to power. Thank you for all the activists that are on here. Mr. Jones, I see you. And so many I see a few judges on here. Thank you for keeping the criminal justice system and the system of justice alive and granting people freedom and an opportunity to continue to live their lives. But it's time for our governor to get real and to call this what this is. This is a pandemic, and we need to shelter in place. I love you guys. I'll talk to you guys again at 7 o'clock on Monday. I'll be on most of your major stations because if they're going to try to take away my platforms, then I'm going to bring it to their platforms. Because this is not just about me. This is about my daughter. This is about my wife. This is about my mother. This is about all the people that are my friends. This is about getting the truth out. And so I love you guys. I will see you in a little while.
This is the Justicefighter podcast. Justicefighter podcast. With attorney Gerald Griggs. Attorney G. Where we have conversations on social justice, civil rights, and political news that affects us all. Let attorney Griggs put you on game. Only on the Justicefighter podcast, y'all.